as the next generation tool for video gaming. Sega developer Yu Suzuki plans on developing gaming technology using implantable RFIDs. He states, people that have some sort of chips in their bodies, to be able to keep track of vital signs. So it doesn't have to be a scary thing. You know, a bit like the Matrix, as he points to his arm. It's not really something only in the future. Some people already have them, chips in their bodies. Suzuki is correct. It has never been easier to order a microchip online and implant it under your skin. Microchips implanted in your hand, arm, or shoulder is just the beginning. Some have already taken implantable brain chips that may enable the blind to see again, the deaf to hear, and much, much more, including the ability to download information directly into the brain and instantly communicate with anyone in the world, creating a worldwide mind.
It's very interesting that the way that the New World Order is going is moving towards a system that is identical to that, whether it's going to be an implantable microchip, an RFID, a thumb scan, whether it's going to be some sort of a tattoo.
Imagine a planet where every human being is required to be chipped at birth. This would be the final tool implemented in a command and control world government system in which the elite rule the masses with total control of their lives.
The elite is into the occult. You say you're trying to get your source, former Big Three oil CEO, to, come to Christ. That's the one issue we haven't talked about, this devil Messiah. Let's talk about that now.
It is so important. The devil's Messiah, you've heard me give it on your program before in depth. I want to just give you one illustration of how they're actually drawing the string right now. Last weekend, my family and I were up in Yavapai County, which is just north of where we live here in Arizona. And I was with a pastor called Pastor Posedley. They've just built a new church building. And Pastor Posedley made pretty good friends with some of the individuals at the Building and Zoning Board. Well, he went back in to take care of all of his final paperwork and details the other day. Now, this is days ago. This didn't happen months ago. This happened days ago. And Pastor Posedley said, Lindsay, you've got to know what this individual said to. He said, in confidence, Pastor, he said, I want to tell you something. He said, Yavapai County has just put in an ordinance stating that if anybody makes a single complaint about your church, they don't like the way your women dress, they don't like the way you sing your singing, we don't care what it is. If any complaint is made about your church to Yavapai County, we have an ordinance now that states that we can come in, padlock the church door, even though you built that building, even though your church owns it, even though it's yours. We have an ordinance stating one complaint, we can padlock your door, you can never hold another worship service there. We have a right to do that. We just want you to be careful so this doesn't happen to you. The elite, I believe, and by the way, they've already put this also into Maricopa County. It was in the newspaper about Mesa, Arizona, just a few days ago in the Arizona Republic. I believe that they're putting in this ordinance probably all across America. And
hold on.
Talked about earlier.
Excuse me?
Internal documents released in March of 2009 reveal that the Department of Homeland Security is targeting citizens who discussed the New World Order, people with a Christian identity, or sovereign citizens who argue that the government has gotten away from the intent of the Constitution and are strong states' rights advocates. People who are anti-immigration, stating, extremists will argue that immigrants are taking the jobs of U.S. citizens during times of high unemployment and without paying taxes. People who oppose the Federal Reserve banking system. People who display constitutional party or libertarian material. People who support Ron Paul. And those who have bumper stickers containing anti-government rhetoric. This document is one of literally thousands that make everyone a possible terrorist. This establishes a pattern of demonizing ordinary citizens while giving draconian powers to the state. You are considered guilty until proven innocent. As technology is developed, separate parts of their command and control system are beta tested around the world. Here at home, Boy Scouts are being trained to take on returning veterans and disarm domestic extremists, while national programs such as City Year are training young people to serve the government.
I am change.
I am fierce.
In the United Kingdom, it has been established there are over 4 million CCTV cameras. That is around one camera for every 14 citizens. Their purpose is not to solve crime, as it takes 1,000 CCTV cameras to solve just one crime. It is to create a tattletale society in which everyone is under constant surveillance by the state and those around them. The company Internet Eyes is now paying people to log onto the internet and watch CCTV cameras in real time as they turn in criminals for cash.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
What do you think the most important thing is for Barack Obama? Obviously, you're here to talk.
This new world. Such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them. And that is why we cannot afford to be divided. No one nation, no matter how large or powerful, can defeat such challenges alone. But the burdens of global citizenship continue to bind us together. In this new century, Americans and Europeans alike will be required to do more, not less. Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way, the one way, to protect our common security and advance our common humanity. That is why America cannot turn inward. That is why Europe cannot turn inward. America has no better partner than Europe. Now is the time to build new bridges across the globe as strong as the one that binds us across the Atlantic. Now is the time to join together through constant cooperation and strong institutions and shared sacrifice and a global commitment to progress to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
Barack Obama also became the first sitting president to ever become the chair of the Security Council for the United Nations, which only further cites his allegiance to world government.
In an era when our destiny is shared, power is no longer a zero-sum game. No one nation can or should try to dominate another nation. No world order that elevates one nation or group of people over another will succeed. No balance of power among nations will hold. The traditional divisions between nations of the South and the North make no sense in an interconnected world.
I think the position of him is so extraordinary around the world. I think his task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity.
What is the Matrix? Control.
Key to such control has always been control of money. You can control a government if you have that government in your debt.
And it is stunning, particularly to hear President Obama claim the power to keep people in prison indefinitely with no charges against them, no conviction, no sentence, just imprisonment. It's particularly stunning to hear him make that claim in the middle of a speech that was all about the rule of law.
But we must do so with an abiding confidence in the rule of law. Our government was defending positions that undermine the rule of law to ensure that they are in line with the rule of law.
How can a president speak the kind of poetry that President Obama does about the rule of law and call for the power to indefinitely, preventively imprison people because they might commit crimes in the future? How can those two things coexist in the same man, even in the same speech?
Are causing the undoing of the social fabric of this nation. The people are grossly dissatisfied with the politics and the politicians of America. The people are wondering how the president and the Congress could loan money to other governments and give money away with the infrastructure of this nation crumbling and the debt is spiraling. How could America give away money when the country is in need? There are millions of homeless people living under bridges.
The saddest part of this tragedy is that all of these horrible changes are being done in the name of patriotism and protecting freedom. They are justified by good intentions while believing the sacrifice of liberty is required for our safety. Nothing could be further from the truth.
The United States must hold individuals to keep them from carrying out an act of war. We will do so within a system that involves judicial and congressional oversight. And so going forward, my administration will work with Congress to develop an appropriate legal regime so that our efforts are consistent with our values and our Constitution.
You'll construct a legal regime to make indefinite detention legal. You will, what does he say? Develop an appropriate legal regime.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop.
So is there anything else about the ruling class we should know? Politicians, business leaders, and media figures are often portrayed as pillars of morality while they describe themselves as Christian conservatives. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, many of the elite are groomed at a young age to take part in occult rituals. Those who attend Yale are indoctrinated into the Order of Skull and Bones, an elite secret society cloaked as a fraternal order.
Yale University is 300 years old this year, and were you to visit its campus, you would see that it still has exotic clubhouses, which look like tombs where Yale's legendary secret societies meet. Their prestige and importance have largely evaporated, but the rituals are still a secret. And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, well, we couldn't resist.
Skull and Bones, people say it's a fraternity at Yale University, but it's really a postgraduate organization. So it was founded in 1832, and it's not like a normal fraternity. People don't pledge. These people choose who they want to come. So they do the recruiting. They recruit 15 people every year, people who they see are going to be powerful people in the future. So they're recruited when they're a junior in college.
And yet they sit there in suits and shirts and ties, and they speak to you so sweetly and so charmingly, and they hate you.
A lot of these people come from really wealthy and influential families because they know that this person has the resources to then elevate them to a position of power that can benefit the club.
The video shows the neophytes, or initiates, kissing a skull, then performing a mock human sacrifice. Horrific screams caught on tape include chants of, "The devil equals death, death equals the devil."
True. Famous alums include Senators John Kerry and John Chafee, to name two, cabinet secretaries such as Averell Harriman, and 3 presidents, William Taft, George Bush.
Did you know that 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons? I'm going into your secrets for a minute.
I love you. Well, if you pay a prostitute, she'll tell you that she loves you as well. And then when the next punter comes, they'll tell them that they love them too. A Freemason is a prostitute, male or female. They are a whore. They may as well be standing on a corner with fishnet stockings swinging their handbag.
Many of the people that achieve pinnacles of power are into the occult. They seek a supernatural way to gain power.
All they do is tout for business, to fill their pockets with money, shaking hands and coming to agreements, and running all of the businesses in every country in the world.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save.
The thing is so secret, I'm not even sure it still exists.
Former Skull and Bones members and current members have been presidents, heads of the CIA, senators, heads of business. I mean, huge, huge corporations. These people have the network that brings them to such a position of power that most people could only dream of.
Bush would run against his fellow bonesman and distant cousin John Kerry in 2004.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
This is an elaborate, occult, ritualistic entry into the